Let me play through this blues solo in the key of E, and then I'll break it down. This is a fun way to play the blues. I struggled for a long time because I kept trying to play the E minor pentatonic over something like this, but I played it like this. Up and down the scale, and it does not sound musical that way, but using the notes in that scale to create some phrases, leaving space in between those phrases. Check this out. If we just use the little extension of this scale, if we slide from 2 to 4 on the G string, and then 3, 5 on the B, 3, 5 on the E, is that little extension box. And that's a little blues note, blue note. Fits over the E7 like a glove. And I'll show you these other little over A7 and B7. That's the key to making it sound like blues, is to kind of nail some of those chord tones, but in a simple way. This is an easy way to play a blues. These phrases just flow right together. So if we take that little box, we slide up from 2 to 4, hitting 3 on the B string, open E, and then pulling back down from 4 to 2. Open G, back to the root note in the 2nd fret of the D string. Really common, but it outlines all the notes in the chord. That's why it sounds so good. And this is the second one. Once you land on that root note, you can... So you hit the root note in the 2nd fret of the D string, then you hit a double stop on the 2nd fret of the G and B strings. Again. Hammering on from open G to the 1st fret, which is a G sharp note, then open B and E strings. They just flow right together. You're using all the notes in that chord by just running around that B note, D, E, G sharp. The 4 notes that are in an E7 chord. You don't necessarily have to look at it that way. That's why it sounds so good when you hear someone play that. When it goes to the A chord, I think I hammered on here, because that E's right there, open E. The G is the flat 7 in the A7 chord. And then the E note is in an A7th also. Back to E. Now watch this. that goes from the B7 to A7 as it's going back to the E chord. So just literally outlining the notes in a B chord, B, D sharp, F sharp. But you're doing it with a little movement with chromatic notes, sliding from 3 to 4 on the B string, hitting 2 on the E string, and then walking down 4, 3, 2, hitting the B note in the 4th fret of the B string, or the G string, I'm sorry. Great practice. You can do this over any 7 chord. You can do it over E. But we're doing it over this B chord. Now I'm looking at the A7 chord. There's an A triad here. This is a common way to get that major sound. We're just sliding from 4 to 6 on the G string and hitting 5, which is the E note. So a half bend, just trying to reach that G note there. Release, and then hitting 7. Hammer on and pull off from 5 to 7. 6 on the G, back to 5. Again, the B7, A, so we'll go B7, A, that's another thing, that turnaround is such an important thing to make you sound connected. You just don't want to play random notes. So the turnaround at the end of a blues, just a simple 12-bar blues, is really important to at least nail the notes in the turnaround chord, which in this case is a B7 at the end there. Walking up chromatically is definitely a great way to do that. Open A, 1, 2 is a B note on the A string. And then you could, but before you do that, you can walk down the minor pentatonic. So all that together though, that just sounds, you can hear the chords when you play it that way, and that's what your goal should be, is to bring out the chords without even having a backing track. That is the ticket. You can grab your guitar without a backing track and play this stuff, connecting to each chord, connecting a phrase, but leaving that space is the key. Take your hand off the guitar if you have to. Play a phrase in A. I'm just walking down the minor pentatonic with a slight bend here on 3 of the E string. Open. Open. Full bend on 2 of the G string and hitting the open E again. They're all connected. Those simple phrases, I hope you get this under your belt, because I struggled for a long time to play a blues solo that I was confident in. I was most of the time just playing up and down the pentatonic scale, hoping to hit a good note, and I just... that's how it sounded. It was very mechanical sounding. But when you play phrases and pause in between each one, play it with authority. And Stevie Ray Vaughan was a master at this. He played a lot of fast stuff, but when he played something slow, he meant it. He played it with authority. I hope you get some ideas from this. And all this I played here, you can play in the 12th fret because it's all the same notes. All the same notes are, you can easily play them an octave up. And this is all movable for sure. You can do this stuff in any key of A. Walking down the scale and doing that little major. Very common, but very effective. Let me know if you got something from the lesson. I had a blast with this simple concept here. Thanks so much, and let's talk soon.